So, but as with all things, we start out with the most important, our ad.
Sawa ka na ba sa unactivated Windows mo? Well, lucky you! Pinakabago mula sa cdkeyoffer.com. Windows 10 and Windows 11 activation codes. Legit, safe, at pinakamura. Madali lang umorder. Hanapin ang Windows version na gusto mo. Piliin ang preferred payment method. Wala pang 5 minutes, CDE ka na para sa Windows mo. Marami na kaming natulungan.
Dati, second depressed ako. But now, I found the love of my life. Dati, aimless and walang purpose ng life ko. But now, I'm a world-class Zumba instructor.
So, web developer ako and content creator for a YouTube channel. And ngayon, ganun pa rin ako pero activated na yung Windows ko. Kaya kung naghahanap ka ng legit, mura, at original software,
Check out cdkoffer.com.
check out cdkoffer.com. Check out cdkoffer.com.
You really should if you're looking for... Oh, what's up, Reverend Jan? No, Anton. BYD just lent this to me. Let me know if like the sound is fine. I will also...
Try me again? Maybe one more time?
Oh, okay. This might be a problem. The voice recognition thinks I'm talking to it all the time. And like we're gonna be
Sorry,
talking...
I don't think I understand.
Oh no, how do we disable this? Actually, the voice recognition on this is pretty cool. Like I can ask it to do the aircon, I can ask it to do the sunroof. But now it's not the best because I'll be talking for most of the time. Sound is good. Thanks, Anton. The rescue unit is called Rocky the Programmer. Wait, let me just share it to... I just need to share the stream to... Oh man, there's a dog. I just need to share the stream to Facebook and then we are on our way. So give me a sec. Hirap nitong ad hoc na ano eh. Oh there, how come I don't have internet? Hang on a sec, guys. Yeah, no, so I didn't buy a BYD. BYD was just kind enough to lend us a unit. So, okay, here. Hang on, let me just share the YouTube link to Facebook so that it shows up on Facebook also. If I were doing it like with a stable internet connection, you know, we can do multi-stream na, like from one platform or one device to multiple platforms. Yung problema, I'm only using mobile data, so probably won't be that stable. And if you watch the other live drives, you know that Globe is not the best in terms of mobile internet. So we'll be talking about the Atto3. I've only used it for a day or two. Lots of interesting things about it. Hang on, let me just share this to Facebook, post this to Facebook, and then we are off. Because we do have dinner reservations at 7, so we need to make it there by then. Can't see FB comments. Please comment on YT if you want me to see it live. Okay, we are ready. So, I mean, in the video, I mean, this live, you're just gonna be seeing my face most of the time. Like, you won't see the interior of the car, or you won't see the dash. It's just the limitations of what we can do now with the live drive, that basically I just have it with one phone. But definitely you're gonna see the interior and all the features and things like that in the review video that we do. Right now, sorry, I'm just shutting down my laptop. Yeah, you want it open when you shut it down, because if you close it before you shut it down, dun nagkaka-problema. Like it turns off the screen, but it doesn't close properly. So it doesn't shut down properly. So, you know, it's a whole thing. yeah, so actually I'm thinking about doing two videos. One like just a straight up review of the Atto 3, and then the other one is like a perspective video on EVs in general. Like I mean the Atto 3, has a lot of features that are common in other EVs. So like, coming from a ICE car, an internal combustion engine vehicle, what's it like to kind of use an EV? So as you know, I've used my hybrid a lot. My hybrid is 10 years now, one of the first in the Philippines, the Honda CRZ. But that's still a very traditional car. I mean, it uses gas to run. It's only a mild hybrid, so the fuel efficiency isn't great. I mean, the Prius is much better kung fuel efficiency lang. But I got the CRZ because it's a much more fun car to drive. Like it has sports mode and it has speed boost and things like that. Um, I've always wanted to get my hands on a full EV. So BYD was nice enough to lend us one. Thanks so much. I hope I will not make it bangga in stream or even offline. So I have been driving a tad more careful, been a bit more cautious than I usually am. Not that I'm not a cautious driver by my nature, but iba kung I mean, it's kind of like, which is why I don't like doing content on customers' PCs. Like, I mean, we have a lot of nice customers. They're like, I have this really unique case, or I have this really expensive GPU or CPU. I don't mind. You can, you assemble it or you install it, and then you can make content out of it. But ako, parang, palagi ako kinakabahan when I handle equipment that is not mine. So, I mean, 5090, a 4090 is what, 110, 115,000 pesos. The sticker price on this guy is like 1.6, I think, for the standard model. So, um, if I get nervous about dealing with a 110,000 component, parang siguro times 16 yung uh, nervousness level ko. But on the other hand, I mean, it's just like any other car, right? I mean, regardless if you're driving your car or somebody else's car, you never set out with the intention to wreck it. So I mean, the same level of caution is there. Although I do admit to being a little more tentative in this vehicle. The Atto 3 is kind of like, siguro roughly like slightly shorter than an Innova. So it's definitely not a car. So it's not like a sedan type. I guess this is the category na uso ngayon yung crossover type. So it's that kind of size. Definitely shorter and smaller than the Mazda CX-8, which I usually take with my family. That's one of our main primary family cars. Definitely though a lot bigger than my usual CRZ. So I mean, it's not like it's been an adjustment in terms of size. Oh, sup, Christian Espinosa. Sup, ITX Addict. I know. I, well, I mean, I like borrowing. To be honest, I like borrowing books. Like, I'm a super big believer in libraries. I love borrowing books. There are advantages to borrowing, especially like, if you just want to try something out. Like, you don't know what yet if you want to invest in it or splurge on it or something. But definitely, like, you are very conscious that it's not yours. So like the range of actions that you would do, especially for me, parang mahiya naman ako like if I return it. Like it's gotten so bad because we have stray cats in the garage, and so actually those are my fault. We ended up having stray cats in the garage because I feed the stray cats, but they're jumping all over the place. Like they jump on top of the cars and they scratch them. So I mean, I don't know if Anton can attest. I think they're already scratches. I mean, they're easy enough naman to wax out and stuff, but generally they're a real pain in the ass, those cats, and they're super noisy. And you've seen them in my streams because they even go up to my home office and just hang out there basically. So like for our house cars, I'm like, well, what you're gonna do, dumb cats. But with the BYD, it's staying in the house, and then I don't want it to get scratched up kasi nakakaya naman to BYD. So I put a tarp. So I do have a tarp for the CRZ. Kasya naman dito, just barely, but it covers the surfaces na you want to be covered, like the top, the hood, and well, there's not much of a back kasi yung nga, parang crossover type, so the back goes up instead of like sloping down and having the trunk space. But every night now, I have to put the cover on the Atto 3 kasi yun nga, nakakaya kay BYD if I return it to them all dinged up, dumb cats. So I'm just using the touchscreen. One of the nice things which a lot of EVs have is the touchscreen. This is really nice, just both in terms of size and in terms of the vividness, the sharpness of the screen, and you see a lot more. You can make it. You can call up a lot more information. So there are cameras in the front, in the back, on the left, and on the right, and you can have them all displayed. Di naman all at the same time, but you can have both sides displayed at the same time, or the front or the back. So it's actually been a little distracting. Like I tried driving kanina with like the front cam. Although medyo kalokohan yun because I can see the front, right? So I had the back cam on. Then you're looking forward, but you can see the back camera displayed here, and it's really like in your peripheral vision there are things moving that I'm not used to seeing there. So it's a little disconcerting. But of course you can turn it off. Right now I have it on Waze, and then the podcast that I was listening to kanina. And that's one of the great things that I really enjoyed about this car. I imagine a lot of the EVs are like this particular feature I'm gonna mention now, but especially, I'm trying it first on the Atto 3. Pero sobrang seamless yung transition. Like I'm in the house, I have my phone, I just turn on Bluetooth and data, and then it picks up immediately where I left off from the last time I was in the car, the Waze, and then the music I had on, or the podcast I had on. And then there's wireless charging also in one section, which is the natural section where you would put your phone. I didn't even know may wireless charging tong Atto 3. But there's a niche here, there's a crevice where parang naturally that's where you would put the phone. And then when I put the phone, there was a pop-up on the car that said wireless charging activated. I'm like, oh wow, that's really smart. Like I didn't, like, design wise, that's a natural place to put the phone. I put the phone. Sorry, I cut out because I just got a call. I don't know if you've noticed, if you have data on, get a call out because I just got a call. I don't know if you've noticed, if you have data on, get a call. Like, at least my phone, I don't know other phones, but I'm a Pixel 7, so I think it should be able to handle it kung kaya. It cuts out the data for you to receive the call. So it was on the Hardware Sugar number. I apologize if you're one of the guys who call, if I don't know, if you're on the stream or you watch this later, please do call our other number, 0917-506-3312. Although the guys just got off, we closed at 4:30, so I don't know if somebody will reply right away. But if you have an inquiry, send it to Facebook or you can text it. I'll try to reply later. But I do need my bandwidth now so that we can do the live stream. So apologies, guys. Actually, it's kind of fun when I do a live stream like in the shop and then somebody calls. Although that one kasi we're using the shop internet, so it's not reliant on the mobile data. Oh, sup, Leah Magnaye? Don't say that. Don't say that. Hopefully, it'll be under 3 hours. Or Waze is saying now it's like 2 hours 7. We just really need to get on the Skyway. So we're headed towards Tagaytay. We're just headed to the Skyway and then should be good. Although yes, this particular section mabagal nga to get to the Skyway. Pero like wala nang ibang hirap pag Friday, and then I understand it's generally bad Friday southbound, which is basically what we're doing. So good luck sa atin. Yes, this might be a long drive, but hopefully not. But yun nga, I wanted, actually the initial concept of this was live drive na parang delivery. That's what our usual live drives are, where there's a component or there's a build to be delivered, and then I take it to either north or south. Like I've gotten as far as La Union, although that would be like, di ko naman kaya balikan na La Union on the stream. But generally, like, it's balikan pero malayo, like outside of Metro Manila. But Unfortunately, there were just no eligible orders. Like we had a bunch of orders, but they were within Metro Manila. Hard to do it if you're not on a motorcycle, like if it's an delivery, kasi you know, oftentimes maybe it's a condo, so you need to park somewhere, or it's like nasa loob of some barangay or something, so it's hard to find. Really easier on a motorcycle. Um, that's why and I enjoy doing the live drives out of the city kasi I like stretching my legs. Like I like driving long distance na hindi masyadong traffic. So that's kind of defeats the purpose I uh, if I do a live drive within the city. But that said, yun nga, parang this is also good driving conditions to test the EV. Kasi one of the nice things about the EV, well, the whole thing about the EV is you're not using gas, right? So even if you're in traffic, there's no internal combustion engine. You're not using any gas. So you're not polluting, even if you're in unproductive standstill in traffic. And then so it's also a good test of the battery of the car. So we left Makati, 80%. We've already lost 1%. But I'm pretty sure we'll get there, okay? But yeah, it's good. It's not the ideal driving conditions for the driver, but it's a good test of like how much. I mean, because a lot of Metro Manila driving is in traffic. So if you buy an EV, and this one supposedly has pretty good range. So BYD claims it's a 480-kilometer range on a full charge. But yun nga, a lot of that is stop go. A lot of driving in the Philippines or Metro Manila is stop go traffic, or even Cebu. Like it's even worse in Cebu. So like driving in traffic is good for the testing, bad for the driver, me. Plus you have to be a bit aggressive in Makati traffic. And then yun nga, it's a borrowed car. But I think we can still be a bit aggressive even if in a borrowed car. Yeah, we just need to get to the Skyway. Lapit na. Hopefully. Was that you, Deep Eyes 27? Sorry. Don't call me, man. Don't call me now. Yeah, because I have to end up choosing between the data and then the stream. So I gotta do the stream. But yes, I mean, like if there's an immediate concern, like your best bet would try to call the shop, and then maybe somebody will answer. Usually the boys actually are pretty good about answering. One of the things also I like about the Atto3, which you need to get used to it, but you get used to it quickly. May parang auto stop siya. So once let's say you're driving and then you're braking. Once you come to a standstill and you release the foot brake, the car automatically goes into park or basically engages the handbrake automatically. So there's nothing physical anymore that you need to lift or that you need to you just need to go again, and then that is the car will go. Yep. Okay, almost to the Skyway. So the car does come with RFID, so thank you to BYD. Well, yung BYD, they're under Ayala, so Ayala, is really super competent about everything. This is a demo unit, so it is loaned out to media, so that they can try it out. So it does come fully equipped with both RFIDs, both sets of tolls. I tried it kanina because I brought my son to school, so I had Makati to QAV using the Skyway. So gumana naman yung RFID, so that was a good thing to test as well. Not related to the Atto3, but just in general, like when you have to drive around. Especially if you're going outside of Metro Manila, the first thing that pops to mind is may RFID na ba yung sasakyan, which kind of hassle, pero yun nga, they were super, they've tricked out the car na basically. I did try charging also for the first time kanina when I got back from my son's school. I was able, and the charging was super easy. Like I didn't need any special training. It's really like just plugging in a normal charger, like on your phone and things like that. Grabe. Is there a possibility Lian Li Dan A3? Yes. When our supplier gets, we will get. There's only one official supplier though of Lian Li in the country. We do business. I mean, we're in good relations with them. We buy a lot of stuff from them. So once they have it, yes, we can restock it. It's just a question of uh, timing na, or let us know, or if you want, you can pay it na so that we can get it right away when our supplier gets it. But yeah, we have stocked it in the past, and then we can stock it again. What are you doing? Why are you going left? So the last live drive we did was to Lucena. So this is also like the same route, basically southbound. We're off to Tagaytay now for a nice dinner. So I bought a special passenger. What a dumbass motorcycle. Special passenger, then I have like dumbass motor idiot in front of me. Actually, yun nga, I've mentioned before in the live drives. So I need a camera pointed at my face because that's the whole thing about the stream. But I also want sana a stream where, or a way run everything through OBS. Naka-set up na both cameras in OBS, and then we can stream it through there. Yung problema is finding a powerful enough data connection to get that done. Are entering Skyway now. We are rising here. So sorry, you can't see the dash, but here in the dash you can see how many kilowatts the car is using to run. And then so the more you're asking of it, whether to go fast or to go up to an incline, the more kilowatts you're using. The max I've been able to get it to kanina was 35, but just now when we were going up and then I was asking it to go a bit fast, I was able to get 43. I don't quite know how fast we can get it, or how. Hang on, trying to get into the fast lane, so we have a ways to go. All right. Yeah, so going up the ramp, I was able to hit 43 like consumption. Although those are just like very fast na. I mean, in an internal combustion engine car, it'd be like your revolutions go up a little bit because you're asking it to do more work. You can see it's a gas kasi so there's a lot more information that you see in an EV that you don't see in a regular ICE car. And one other thing, like I noticed now that I've gotten to drive it around a little bit, it's super quiet because there's no, like, it's an electric drivetrain, so there's no noisy. Even when a car is on idle, you can hear the engine eh. And then if you drive a hybrid, when the engine cuts out, it's really no, or even like the newer cars now, the engine will cut out if you're in traffic. The silence, because you've just cut out your engine, you don't hear your engine anymore. Grabe yung silence. But this one, when you're driving it, the usual audio cues that I'm used to when driving a car, like when I want to go faster, I step on the gas and then you can hear the engine revving up, and that's part of the acceleration of driving fast, right? Especially like if you're in the CRZ on sports mode. But now this one, even when you drive, like when you ask the car to go faster and it does get to go faster, it's nothing. There's no auditory feedback that you're making the car work harder. So it's di naman siya, like, it's not something like I have to get used to it, but just more from a sensory experience rather than something that it impairs my ability to drive, or like nahihirapan ako kasi you can't hear the motor revving up. It's just more from in almost 25 years of driving, instinctively that when you press on the gas, you're gonna hear your engine rev up because it needs to burn more stuff so that you can accelerate. But this one, it's just like nothing. And the pickup, once you can get it to pick up, is quite fast because the electric cars have better torque. It's just the nature of the thing though. And to be honest, the concept of torque has always been a little confusing to me. Like, I've tried to watch YouTube videos explaining it like for dummies, but I I guess like I need like torque for 2-year-olds or something. Because like I kind of understand it. Like I think I understand it, but I can't explain it, and that's really like the test. If you can't explain something, ayun. All right, sorry guys, we cut out again. Thanks, Globe. I mean, Globe, really, I don't know. Like we're still in like where are we on Nichols or something? Like we haven't really gone that far. I don't know why it would be that bad. Yon. And I was just thinking this whole thing about like I don't understand torque. I think I understand it, but I can't explain it. And for me, that's when you can't explain something, that's a sign that you don't really understand it. And then I was like, in fairness to me, I think I explain computer stuff well, or at least in a very decent kind of level that a lot of people seem to be able to understand. So I guess that means that I understand, PC basics. There are now 3 ambulances. Yes. Okay, so I don't know how many how many bits of the monologue that you but yeah, I was saying that one of the things I've had to get used to, not in a bad way, just like in a surprising way, is that when you ask the car to speed up, there's no discernible effort on the part of the car. It doesn't. Thanks, Globe. Okay. Kuno, we're live again. I don't know for how long. We're about to almost hit Bikutan exit, so I don't know. But yes. So far we're on track, making good time. We've only lost 3% of battery so far. We were at 80, now we're at 77. I posted about like, I don't think I'll charge. And to be honest, I know a lot of people, their concern about EVs is yun nga, yung range anxiety, yung, will it die on me? And it's not like you can just pull up to any regular gas station and fill up. Only select gas stations right now have charging stations. So when I posted this morning that I was gonna do the live drive, I've joked around a little bit about the range and things like that. And at the time, I was just joking. I had full confidence naman that the EV would get me to Tagaytay and back. But just as I was driving it earlier this morning and then coming back, like, pucha, parang we're below 80% na. To be fair, I only start like Makati QC and back, it was below 24% already or so. So it was, when I got back to my place in Makati, it was below 80 na. So I'm like, wow, okay, wait, maybe, I mean, Makati QC isn't that far, right? In fact, sa may club area lang ako eh. Although it was traffic, especially going, actually, it was even traffic on the Skyway going. It's traffic on the Skyway going, it was traffic going home. So, when I posted about range anxiety, it was a joke. But then, as it got closer to the time that I would be actually driving, and close to the time that I was using up more and more of the charge, as I was using the car throughout the day, parang naging totoo na yung range anxiety ko. But I mean, I'm intellectually, I'm pretty confident na even if I didn't charge it. Again, Globe, actually, yung dapat mag-sponsor nung mga live drive, or the ones who should take note of the live drives. To be honest, I've used smart mobile data on the live drives. It's a much smoother experience. It's a much more reliable data experience compared to Globe. If you're just using Waze, you might not notice when Globe cuts out. But like, I mean, for these kind of like live drive or live video situations, it's very noticeable when Globe cuts out. And Globe cuts out a heck of a lot more frequently than Smart does. And I'm not even a fan of Smart. Like, I super dislike PLDT for what they did to me 5 years ago. Like, one of the earliest videos on the channel was me complaining about my PLDT fiber experience. I know they're different. Yeah, I mean, they're basically the same, right? PLDT and Smart. So I think PLDT customer service is terrible, atrocious, one of the worst. So I am loath to praise Smart. But I mean, I gotta give credit. It is due. The Smart mobile data talaga is a lot better than Globe data. My daughter My daughter goes to a school in Taguig, so very close to the Globe headquarters. And then inside the school, like the signal is abysmal. And I don't think it's sadja. I think it's just really this kind of blind spot or blind dead area. So if you're a hardware sugar customer and you've called the inquiry number, which I usually have, and like you've had trouble hearing me, that's yeah, that's thanks to Globe. I'm not even using data. It's just a regular like what cell phones were invented for, just calls like voice. It's like it's yeah, it's terrible. I can't I know it's just a dead spot there. And this is like walking distance literally. Maybe like a 10-15 minute walk from Globe HQs. I mean so I mean like come on, man.
Did you bring any snacks? I'm getting hungry.
I don't know if you can hear my ways, but it's the Halloween themed zombie one. I did it with Halloween in mind, and yeah, I it's a fun Wee's voice. Usually I have it on Master Chief from Halo. But for Halloween they're like, "Oh, we have a zombie voice." So I'm like, "We did the zombie voice." And it makes little jokes like um you better, like, I'm just paraphrasing, but parang you better not stay too long in traffic because I get hungry. You know what zombies consider as a snack, i.e. people. So I mean, it's past Halloween, but I guess they haven't removed the voice yet because it's still active. Um, Again, so I have Waze on the screen, and then I have my Spotify podcast thing. Um, it's great. The screen is beautiful. It's sharp. It's clear. It's super useful that it's an actual touchscreen that you can just zoom out and things. Because like the screen on my Mazda CX-8 is smaller. Plus, I'm not even sure it's a touchscreen, or if it's a touchscreen, it won't let you touch it while it's driving because like it's a safety hazard now. But I would argue it's more of a safety hazard if you can't interact with Waze because you're trying to zoom out and you're trying to anticipate where is Waze bringing me on the map and things like that. Um, so like I'm not touching it to play with it, and I know that sound. I mean, like, in a strictly professional sense, but I'm touching. I want to interact with the screen so that I can figure out where I'm going. So the CX-8 screen is much smaller. It's not as nice as this, but a lot of the EVs now, thank you Tesla, thank you Elon Musk. They're like these. I don't know, diba? They're fine. They're yeah, these big ass screens. Which has its good sides and its downsides. So I was actually watching a super interesting um it was a YouTube video. It was a car video, and then the video was like, actually, everybody, or a lot of customers, a lot of drivers like the screen, like this kind of screen where it is yeah, it's very clear, it's very large, it's very sharp. um and then the video was saying that actually car manufacturers like that also, because it's a lot easier to swap out screens. It becomes very uniform. The car interior becomes very uniform, so that it can be swapped out, or different models can have basically the same interior. So in cars without screens, 'di ba, ang dami pagpalamuti dito sa dashboard. But now with a screen, basically you just slap a screen in there, and then that's it. The brand doesn't need to worry anymore about individual styling and stocking the parts to make it unique between models. So I thought that was a really good point, which I didn't think about, like might be invisible to consumers. Like I'm just thinking like this is a really nice screen, but the car manufacturers didn't put it there like out of the goodness of their hearts, or maybe they did, and then it was like a side benefit na, oh, it's like they found out later on when manufacturing the things, like, oh, okay, it's like super easy to make it like this kind of stock process for the dashboard. So I actually love the screen here in front, like the main screen that you have in the middle, the console screen in the middle. What I find really underwhelming is the driver's screen. So in a traditional car, it would be like the dials would be here. You got your speedometer, you got your RPM, may gauge pa for the temp. Back again. not saying na I love the center console screen, but the smaller screen where they have information like how many kilowatts you're using right now. I'm currently at 4. How much
Exit
how
right.
much range is left and how fast you're going. It's all on a small screen. It's a much smaller screen, and then parang it feels very cluttered. Um, and it's not. Ah, there's a BMW M Sport in front of me. Bet that's not an EV. Bet that would be fun to drive though. I don't know. Ooh, it's like going left and right. All right, it's okay. You're in a two-door BMW. You can have some fun in it. Tapos naka-matte pa siya, parang matte gray. But usually, it looks like a 5 series na ginawang M, na ginawang sport. Because it looks bulkier than a 3 series. I'm betting that's like a 5. I mean, sometimes they do that. So I'm just trying to. Sorry, you can't see it, but I'm just trying to figure out the model of BMW that kind of weaving in and out of traffic. To be fair, doing it naman natin in a reckless manner, and you should have fun when you drive a car like that. Just trying to figure out, hindi siya parang, it's an M Sport and it's a 2-door, pero hindi siya 3 series. I mean, it looks a lot bulkier than the 3 series. So it's like a 5 na baka na modify to become 2-door. I'm not quite sure. I'm at that fork in the Skyway where if you go straight, it's Alabang, but if you go right, it's further on south. And I always get confused
200 meters.
with this fork.
Exit right.
But I want to keep going south, so I need to go right. But I always, like, hindi naman ako madalas sa south, but I'm fairly, it's not like it's the first time that I've driven south from Makati using the Skyway, but I always get confused, like, on where am I supposed to go, with that. Kasi parang dati,
Exit
ano,
right.
you know what conceptually, like, I have a problem with? It's like kasi if you think you go straight, because I want to go farther, and you think you go straight, that means you're going farther along the highway. If you turn right, that means you want to exit. And see, that's why I get confused eh. Like, I want to go farther south, so I want to go straight. But if I go straight, I'm actually exiting to Alabang. Yun. That's why conceptually it's not, because it doesn't conform to the usual logic of I'm gonna exit now, I'm gonna go to the right. Okay. So maybe that is why, like, on an intellectual, I think I'm confused by that fork. I don't think naman I've made a mistake. Although that's kind of like the Buendia flyover. A lot of people, like, I still notice a lot of people on the Buendia flyover. So your Buendia flyover towards EDSA, if you're on the left side, that brings you to Taguig. If you're on the right side, that just means you're gonna go down again, then you're gonna merge onto EDSA. And I see a lot of people, even now, and that thing is like, it's not new, that flyover. I still see a lot of drivers getting confused, and then they stop in the middle and they can't decide, and everybody, gets a little tense and traffic builds up because you're like, you know where you want to go, but you don't know where this guy is going. So kung tatabi ka dito, baka biglang mag-swerve siya or something. So that one's a bit tricky. Although that one, I don't quite know why people get confused. At least this one, parang intellectually na, ano ko siya na, ano. Oh, I'm gonna talk to the car to tell it to open the sunroof because it can do that. Hi BYD, open the blinds.
The blind is open.
Oh yeah, you can even see it on the video. Yeah. So I think that's pretty trippy. Like, it's like voice activated. That's actually useful. You can do the sunroof. You can ask it to raise or lower the temperature of the aircon. You can ask it to raise or lower the speed or kung gaano kalakas yung buga ng fan ng aircon. So I think all of those are pretty useful, especially because interface-wise, there's no easy way to manually set the aircon. I need to make it kalikot on the touch screen. Which, if you're driving, it's not the best because you need to look at the console at the center screen. I've tried to look here. There are a bunch of buttons here, like physical buttons, but I can't find it. So having actually useful voice control to do stuff like that is pretty cool. I didn't know about it until my son started playing around with the with the wheel, and then you can activate voice control either with a push on one button here or saying the yeah, you can even ask it to yeah. So I was praising the voice recognition of the Atto 3, making kwento na I only found out about it because of my son. My son was making kalikot the steering wheel. He pressed a button, and then that button activated the voice control. And so I'm like, oh, okay, let's play around with it. And so I found out it's aircon, or you can do it like in a natural way. Make it colder, parang ganyan. Then it will lower the temperature by 1 degree. I haven't like super detailed instructions like make it colder by 3 degrees or something with it, and I'll let you know. You can also decrease the strength of the aircon, so yung buga ng hangin. You can also do that via voice control. And I think that's yun nga, genuinely useful because I haven't found physical controls here on the center side that would allow me to do that. So I'd have to do it using the touchscreen. And when you're driving, it's kind of it's kind of unsafe if you're always looking at the touch screen, the center console screen. So I like it that you can actually that's good. Like I'm a fan of that. Like that's genuinely useful voice control. More so I think than like just on the phone. Like you're on the phone, like generally you're not gonna be hands free. But ito talaga parang you're gonna be hands free. I mean, you're in a car. I can see voice control being super useful in a car compared to like being kind of gimmicky on just a cell phone. All right, so we're reaching SLEX talaga proper. Like we just passed Alabang, and then traffic looks okay actually. So hopefully our ETA is 6:52. We're going to a nice restaurant in Tagaytay, which I don't know if you've noticed, I'm a little more dressed up than our usual live drive attire because we are on the way to a nice restaurant, which now closest, like you gotta get there now by 7. So hopefully we'll be there by 7. Like I don't need to do any crazy driving to get there by 7. But yeah, actually this also has sports mode. I haven't tried it out yet. What I did try for this one, I noticed that the brake on the Atto 3, and again, this is the first EV that I've tried talaga, so I can't say if it's common among all EVs. Parang the brake, if you're going at very low speeds, for example, you're backing your car, like you're parking and you're backing up your car, you're going at very low speeds, it doesn't understand that you just want to brake gradually. So when you press on the brake, no matter like the strength of your brake or just how lightly you tap the brake, parang ang lakas pa rin nung kagat niya. Ang lakas pa rin nung effect nung brake. Like so you end up jerking. It's like instead of doing like a smooth like slow stop brake like in reverse or something, it becomes really jerky. That's true. I found whether front or back. So yung kind of medyo inching your way forward. I found that the brake can be a little jerky. But I improved it by increasing regenerative braking. So, regenerative braking pioneered in hybrid, so the Prius and stuff. Basically, when you're braking, you're returning electricity or energy back into the battery. So, they've carried that over to EVs. The Atto 3 is not an exception. It also has regenerative braking. I thought the stronger, so there are options. I was playing around with the settings here. There are options for regenerative braking, whether standard or more intense, or parang heavy duty, or I don't know exactly what they call the term for higher capacity regenerative braking. But I had it on normal, or when the car was delivered to me, it was on normal. But yeah, I found the braking too jerky at very low speed. So I set the regenerative braking to higher capacity. And that seems to have improved it. Like it's less jerky now at low speeds. Again, I don't know if that's like, I don't know. And then when you brake, like if you're going at a fast speed and you brake, you can see like the kilowatt hours that you're using.
Did you bring any snacks? I'm getting hungry.
So if you need to go, you're using energy, and so it's displayed like 5 kilowatts. But if you're braking, especially braking from a fast speed, suddenly it becomes like -27, parang ganyan. So you're kind of slow. Maybe it's just the incompetence of the driver kasi I'm not used to EVs. There's a certain way that you want to brake so that it's smooth. But I've tried braking like gradually. It's jerky pa rin. But yun nga, parang I've noticed improvement in once I set the regenerative, but will I end up using the MVP toll? Oh, layo pa naman. Oh yeah, I will be taking Calac. So we are at 74% now.
I don't know.
Turn on Bluetooth, turn on your data. Yeah, sorry. So, bit of trouble getting the live back. What's up, ITX Addict? Sorry, I can see that you chatted, but like I can't. Like I need to lean in to read, and then that's a little dangerous. I gotta focus on the road. But I can't see the messages. I've lost connection. Like my phone lost connection to the car, so now it's not my like this console doesn't have Waze anymore and things like that. So we're flying blind. Can you imagine driving somewhere without Waze? Like parang like I remember those days. Like I wasn't that so I got my first cell phone when I was in high school, wala pang data noon or whatever. So we were just, I'm that generation na just at the cusp. Like hindi pa uso and wala pa talagang options na ganon. But at that point na you're growing up already and you could kind of contact people instantaneously, but not to the same degree as we can do now. You want to try connecting it here?
I don't know how. Try.
Did you turn on Bluetooth?
It's on.
Then you connect the Atto3. So I experienced having to find places that I didn't know, drive to places I didn't know how to get to, without Waze. But at the same time, nowadays I don't know how. Here, I don't know how that would be done. Like I remember my parents, like my dad, my parents would take me and my siblings driving. We visit the states and things like that, and then like we did this drive around Canada one time, and then back in the day na parang paper map lang talaga and stuff. And at the time it was super normal because that was the only way we knew how to do it, right? But nowadays I can't imagine.
It won't let me connect. Dapat data, not the Wi-Fi.
Try to din daw.
Yeah, kasi I need to connect to data. I was using the Wi-Fi.
Bakit? Is that an Apple thing or a BYD thing? Yes, we're just sorting out the map issues. Although, but generally, I find it a lot easier to connect my phone to this car compared to, the CX-8 would be the one that comes to mind. Because you can connect the phone also there, but it needs to be wired pa. I don't know why. Like, you need to attach it physically via cable and enable Bluetooth. So, I don't know why. But this one, you can just do it wirelessly through Bluetooth. And it's been pretty good. Like, it remembers your previous settings, and then when you get into the car and you have your Bluetooth on already on your phone, it just automatically goes back to the last time that you were using it. So parang seamless talaga yung experience. I was really impressed by that. That was pretty good. Comfort wise, it's a good chair. Like just on the level of actually using a car, not like specifically EV features of the Atto3. It's a pretty comfortable chair. The interior is interesting. I think I don't know who came up with the interior. It's kind of like very it's very different. Like instead of the usual like
Let's go.
swing, like handles that swing inside and stuff to open the door, this one's kind of like you lift it open. I mean, the action is like a lifting up action. There are a lot of curves in the interior, like soft kind of like crevices. The air vents are also a lot are unique. Like they're very different from the usual kind of air vents that you would normally see. So the interior is also a bit different, which is something that I've actually looked at this model in the showroom. Like before, I was with my family, they were just looking at cars and like, oh, it's a BYD, let's pop in. So even then, parang nakaka panibago yung interior of the car. So we're stuck now in traffic. I was hopeful that it wouldn't be so big, but we're about an hour into our journey. Um, at least the phone has stopped cutting out on me, or Globita stopped cutting out on me. But what you gonna do? The drive is very smooth. The car is responsive. It doesn't feel heavy. So although yeah, the size of the car, you wouldn't expect it naman to be like feel super heavy, but feels nimble. It feels like agile. There are different settings you can do, like steer assist or something, and like they have sports mode or things like that. Um, I've kept everything on default except for the regenerative braking setting that I talked about earlier. If anything, there's a bit of the physical interior takes some getting used to, just because like there are a lot of buttons, and like it's not immediately clear what all the buttons do. And then I wish there were buttons for some things that I would like to do. Yun nga, like a manual way to adjust the aircon, parang ganun. Um, you have to do it through the touchscreen, or you can do it through voice control. And in fairness, I do like the voice control aspect. How far am I from my exit?
6.
Okay. Ay pa.
Wala, I cannot. This is Android Auto.
And of course, there's the usual collision detectors. Although, so if like you're merging and then you see the thing on the right, like a warning thing will come up, like a warning light. But in this case, I prefer the CX-8 because there's an auditory also. There's a noise that goes tirit when you kind of like, you should be mindful about one of your sides. This one kasi is just lights eh. I don't know if that's a setting that can be changed, but I prefer na may auditory cue also compared to just visual cue. I mean, that's super nitty-gritty. And I mentioned it kasi parang since a lot of like for EVs, a lot of the car now is software driven. I feel it'll come to a day where everything can be customized. Just like you can customize the sounds of your phone, the desktop wallpaper of your computer. Since everything is software, and that's one of the things like for example Tesla is touting. Tayo ba ba?
Yeah, sorry.
Man, I missed the screen. What happened to the screen? Yeah, one of the things that touts is na they can update basically the operating software of the car. Like basically the BIOS of the car on the fly. So if there are like safety things that they can do an on-air update. And so if everything is software, then yeah, like the sounds that the car makes, individual nuances. Like everything technically could be customized, but I guess I don't know if they would, how far car brands will allow you to do that. You know, it's weird when you're driving and it's super traffic, and then suddenly it's not traffic, and then nothing has changed. Like you didn't pass an accident. There was road construction in fairness, but yeah, there were still a lot of lanes left open. It's just like there's traffic, and then the next thing, like, and then there's none. And it always like surprises me when that happens. And also annoys me also because I'm like, heck, like, bakit ba nagka-traffic? Also at the same time, it also annoys me like when you do see the cause of traffic, like may nasiraan or may banggaan, and like, oh come on guys, why can't you have been like more careful? And now here we are, everybody got inconvenienced. Thanks. Sobrang bright.
Hindi ka.
Ah, I think it's okay. I did have like I had a small light you could attach like somewhere there, but that's fine. Hang on guys, I'm just gonna try turning on Bluetooth again because I lost my connection to Android Auto. Ano, connect naman siya. Oh wait, let me try turning it on and off. I'm just trying to get Android Auto back up so I can get my Waze back up here. Right now we're running on one of our
Exit right.
backup
Android.
Sorry, I was trying to get my Waze back on the screen, but I don't know, it's having trouble. Like it, so I guess that's another thing, like when as cars become more like computers, they have these like, you know how it is with a computer, like everything is working fine, like, and then you didn't change anything, and then suddenly everything is not working, and you have no idea what the heck just happened to result in that. So we had Waze running just fine, we had the stream running just fine. Now parang I can stream but I can't do Waze on the on the center console here. So now we're using a backup phone, which sanay naman ako. So I guess that's okay. I am hungry though. Looking forward to dinner. I hope everybody has nice Friday plans, whether that's just staying,
Right.
yeah, whether that's just staying at home and enjoying your PC or your console, or whether it's going out. I hope you guys have a great Friday night. Why do you want to go there? Why don't you just go straight? I know, right? Avios, what you doing? I think this might be the first live drive I've done na gabi. Although it's not the first time that I delivered or that I've been doing hardware sugar stuff at night. Like I used to do live deliveries, not streamed live deliveries, but I used to do them late at night also. There was one time, bagong-bago pa lang yung shop. We were still in Buendia. So like we've always been in Makati, but we've moved around. We have 3 different locations. We keep getting bigger and bigger, so the spaces that we get keep getting bigger and bigger. Our first shop in Buendia was like this hole in the wall, para siyang closet. You can see videos about it. Like we have videos about it from that shop. Like I could stretch my arms like from end to end and tatama na ako against the wall. Like that's how small that space was. So we were very new. We were desperate for customers. So one of the things we were doing was free deliveries. And we got this order from Subic for SSD ata. And then so free delivery means free delivery, right? Kahit sa Subic. In fairness, the guy was willing to pay, but we were like, no, free delivery. And because we were trying to make a name for ourselves. It's kind of like how Amazon was able to do free delivery because they got money from their marketing campaign. Instead of running ads, we're gonna make free delivery, which I thought was brilliant. Now everybody loves Amazon, right? So basically we were willing to eat the cost of the free delivery, even into places like Subic. So But the thing is, like, I don't want to drive to Subic kapag traffic. Traffic NLEX, traffic getting out of Metro Manila, just getting to NLEX. So, I asked the customer, like, if they were willing na, um, you know, is it okay if we deliver really late at night, like 11 or something like that? And the customer was like, yeah, yeah, no problem. And like, this was Subic, and then lampas pa nung Subic main. Parang, like, talagang sa loob no Subic. So, it was really traffic getting, um, it was really traffic getting out of Metro Manila. I remember, parang pinadaan pa ako ni Waze sa Manila side. And then, like
In
Manila,
about
like
200 meters at the roundabout, exit. Take the first exit.
like lusot-lusot ka sa Manila, and then lalabas NLEX finally got on NLEX. It was better driving then. And then so when I got there, like, it was really late na, maybe 12 midnight or something. Fortunately, the customer was still game. Fortunately, like, nothing happened to me. I mean, if you think about it, it might not be safe, like, delivering PC parts on unknown address super late at night, like, outside of any discernible, like, urban area. I mean, urban naman siya, but like, talagang outside of my general comfort zone. So, but yeah, it was fine. The customer was very easy to deal with. I gave him the components, he gave me the money, and then parang it was like, nakakatawa nga kasi it seemed like, if you were of a suspicious mind, you might be thinking that something is amiss here kasi it was up. The car in front of us just got, I don't know, it's like, can't, he had to stop, and he got stopped in the middle. Fortunately, we're able to go, and like, first exit to the right.
At the roundabout, exit. Take the first exit.
Okay. Yeah, if you were of a suspicious mind, it's like, super dark, and then like we were under like a street lamp, and we were kind of exchanging things surreptitiously kasi medyo mahal yung components. So he gave me the cash, and then I gave him like this bundle. So it kind of looked like a dubious transaction if you were just watching it from afar. So everything worked out naman. I got back into the car, I got home like really late na, maybe 1:30, 2 in the morning or something. So I, like, for Hardware Sugar, I've done deliveries even late at night, early morning, which sometimes those drives are the best kasi walang traffic. If you make a wrong turn, it's easier to correct your course kasi you can just U-turn or something, kaysa sa traffic talagang patayan. It's like, everybody, they won't give you space to maneuver, like, if it's super traffic. All right, let's do this. Let's get taking slow. So this might be the first live drive I have at night, from what I recall, but definitely not the first time like that did Hardware Sugar stuff na at night. Okay. Like, actually, I think I wouldn't need Waze to get to Tagaytay proper. To get to the actual restaurant, I don't know it that well. Like, I'm not that there super often. But I think, like, to get to Tagaytay, I could probably, like, basically it's just straight on Calax and then you turn right? I mean, if memory serves. But to get to the actual restaurant. But still plenty of time. Not even 6 o'clock yet. We're at 71%. We've only used up 9% of the battery because we were at 80%. So everything going swimmingly. And I am enjoying the drive. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me this Friday. Taking time out from your schedules. Like, what do you guys have planned? But thanks for keeping me on in the background. The live drives. The live drives is just really like a monologue for like 3 hours or so, depending on how long it takes me to get to where we're going. At first it felt weird, not gonna lie, like being in this monologue. But at the same time, I mean, the first times I would do live drives, but at the same time, parang it became very liberating na din because I don't actually see the audience and I don't see the chat messages and things like that. So it's just really like stream of consciousness, like, oh man, look at this guy in front of me. I don't know why driving is so bad. I know about the car and about the delivery. Sometimes about the computer or the customer that I'm going to. So I enjoy the live drives when it's not traffic anymore. Like we can set the CRC to sports mode. Right now, with the Atto3, we're really running along at a nice clip, 85 kph. And then Globe is not, giving me a headache. It's not, I don't have to keep reconnecting. When everything works, that's like the nice synergy of the live drive. Comfortable car, there are like, sorry, I'm just adjusting the seat a little bit. Gusto mo mas, This guy's slow. Let's see if we can, feel the need for speed. Yeah, it's like effortless. There's no. In fact, I kind of miss the roar of the engine because there is no roar. It's just like you step on the gas and you go, and yeah, there's no auditory like. The only auditory feedback that you're going faster is the speed of the wind, which you don't get if you're just in Metro Manila traffic, and maybe like the sound of the wheels on the concrete is different, as you speed up. But the actual roar of the engine, voila. Because it's EV. And I don't know, like, when my kids are still super small, when they grow up, maybe they will grow up in a world like they never knew. I mean, obviously they drive in cars now that are internal combustion engine, but maybe by the time that they're driving, it's all EVs na, and they'll never know what it's like to drive an actual like manual car or an internal combustion car. And I'd be a bit sad. I mean, that's kind of like maganda rin yung experience eh. I mean, I'm loving the EV experience now. But iba rin yung the roar of an engine. I mean, it's polluting and things like that. Of course, I mean, there are considerations, but just from a kind of like sensory experience, iba rin like you're going fast and you hear that you stomp your foot down and just go fast with the wind and the roar of the engine.